Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking heroes. We talking episode 3 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, baby. Listen, this episode went down, not just from an action perspective, but from a story perspective. They had so many moving parts, so many loose ends in this story, so many nuggets, man. Listen, the last portion of this episode had me running around the house like a fool, like Ric Flair. This episode had me happier than freaking Thor, man. Yes! This episode was so hard, it had me beating my chest and hollering like Tarzan. This episode was going down, y'all. It was going down. And more proof that the MCU knows how to put on a show. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, to start off this video, I just want to remind you that I will be talking spoilers in this video. Once you see episode 3, you know why I have a spoiler alert. So go check out the episode and come holler at your boy. All right, to start this off though, I want to touch on something that happened in episode 2. You know, the discovery of the black super soldier, the discovery of Isaiah, and this performance was just so heart-wrenching because clearly Isaiah has been through the ringer. Clearly he has been tortured. Clearly he has some mental things going on, and he didn't get the respect that Steve Rogers did. And this is a nod to the comic story Truth. If you're not familiar with that, a very good comic, man. So I just love that the MCU is actually using these story arcs to talk about some of the racism in this country and talk about some of the issues in this country in a subtle way, effective but subtle way. Another thing I love about this show is the fact that the characters are so human. They're so down to earth. They're so relatable. There's consequences for their actions in this show. Sam has financial issues. Bucky has nightmares. Isaiah has been tortured. You get what I'm saying? Zemo is under the jail, basically. You see what I'm saying? And he's a broken character mainly because of the Avengers. He's one of those villains where you can kind of see his perspective. I understand why he went crazy. I understand why he hates the Avengers. It makes sense. And to add all the drama with Sharon Carter and the fact that she is a fugitive and she can't talk to her family and she seems broken in herself, and how Cap and Falcon and the Avengers kind of abandoned her, man, it really lets you know as an audience that hey, it's consequences to their actions. There's no way to punch your way out of this or buy your way out of this if you're Iron Man. Is consequences to their actions. Like I said before, the characters are very human, but it's always that aspect of espionage going on because I don't really fully trust Sharon. She has something going on behind the scenes. Her crib was way too decorated for her to be, just selling illegal artwork. She's doing more. And I feel like she could have worked her way back to America if she really want to. I mean, come on. She is a Carter. Come on. There's more to her story than we think. And then, of course, Zemo, he has his motives. He's probably going to turn on the fellas in a minute. So there's a lot of balls rolling with this episode because, Bucky kind of took the lead on this episode. I loved how he broke Zemo out. That made a lot of sense. That was a very Winter Soldier type thing to do. And then I just love, the callbacks to Captain America. Hey, when do we start? You see what I'm saying? Oh, you're not going to pull your seat up. All those things, all those little nuggets were great, man. They had more nuggets than McDonald's, baby. I'm loving it. Speaking of nuggets, though, that Ayo cameo, baby, had me too hype. And see, even before the episode started, when I figured they were going to break out Zemo at some point, or Zemo was going to escape, I figured that the Wakandans were going to come after Zemo because I just recently rewatched, Black Panther, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, the homie. I just rewatched that film, and the Wakandans was serious about freaking artifacts. And they found out that, your boy was stealing the artifact from the museum. And they sent the Black Panther and a whole squad for the artifact. And then, of course, your boy Claw, obviously. I knew that they were going to have to come after Zemo once they heard this. But I figured that, they're going to use a little plot armor, a little story magic to kind of sweep that reality under the rug, okay? So when Sam mentioned it, I thought that would be the end of it. But man, when I saw that Kimoyo bead, baby, I was like, oh, S. Like, I yelled that out because I'm like, yo, what are they about to do, bruh? Is this going to be Shuri popping up? You get what I'm saying? This is going to be a Okoye popping up. Unfortunately, I kind of figured it wasn't going to be, the Black Panther. But then it got me to thinking, I love the Ayo cameo. I love that. Absolutely love it. But I'm thinking to myself, like, wouldn't this be something that T'Challa would take on himself? Like, he would hear about this and he's like, yo, I got to take care of this. And then if he didn't go, wouldn't he send Shuri or Nakia or, you get what I'm saying, some of the main characters, just talking about this in the story perspective, all, actor contracts aside. But from a story perspective, wouldn't they send someone else? So it makes me wonder, is Wakanda, in turmoil right now? What's the conflict in Wakanda? Is this setting up the show, World of Wakanda that we heard about a few months ago? It's so many questions, man. And like I said at the beginning of this review, it just got so many moving parts, but in a good way, in a satisfying way. The story arc with Zemo, how is that going to end? The story arc with Sharon Carter, how is that going to end? How deep is Ayo going to get into this episode? And don't get me wrong, I know Bucky has some pull with Wakandans, but he doesn't have that much pull because remember, Zemo killed the king. So are they about to fight it out? Are they about to go toe to toe? I can't wait to see that next week if that's what's going to happen. So it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of questions. You get what I'm saying? I can't really visualize Ayo just going back to Wakanda saying, hey, we're going to let Bucky handle it. What? Where are they going with this, man? I cannot wait, man. And because of all of that, I just had to give this job a 9.5 out of 10, baby. It's a score that I'm comfortable with. It's a score that I think this show has earned. The rewatch factor of this show is amazing. Like WandaVision episodes, can't really rewatch any of those except the end. But this show, I've been watching each episode at least twice. So I'm looking forward to the episodes coming forth. I'm looking forward to the storylines, and I hope you kick it with me next time when I do a review. Check out the other videos on the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.